some what sold action. As I said, kind of at the outset, if you're a book lover, this one's for you. If you're not so much into the books, this one might not be quite so fun for you. So let's just jump in. It was actually a pretty good week over on Mercari, which was surprising because it has been very, very slow over there this month. But for the last week, it's been good. This first sale, Crescent Books, they did a series of books back in I want to say it was the early 1970s, called The Color Treasury of, and there were, 13 or 14 books in this series. I picked these up as part of my free haul from a couple of weekends ago, so my cost of goods sold on these is $0. Individually, they're not worth a whole bunch. Most of them were listed here and there for $4 free shipping, which is essentially even free. Cost of goods sold is not worth doing. So I lotted the 4 of these together. I had them listed for $25 over on Mercari. I got an offer of $20 with free shipping and sent these out. So again, cost of goods sold is nothing. Shipping on these, I think it was a 3-pound package when it was all said and done. So it was about $4.45, I think, for shipping. So that turned into essentially a $12 or $13 profit from some books that individually were not going to make any money. So I've talked about that previously. One of the things that I do with what you might consider to be duds is before I donate them or just discard them, I see if I can build, like this, a lot of books that I can recoup enough savings in the shipping to make them profitable. This was a case where I was, in fact, able to do that. This next item, as I talked about at the outset, I am a big seller of Bibles and religious books. This is a Holy Bible Reference Edition, King James Version from 1972, was published by the Nelson Publishing. Genuine leather in white. White Bibles tend to do pretty well. This was their part number 685. I picked this up at a local kind of charity bookstore where I made a donation. I gave her about 300 books that I just could not use, and I bought about 10 Bibles from her for $1 a piece. This is one of those. So this also sold on Mercari, $1 cost of goods sold for $21 with free shipping. This was under a pound, so $3.19 medium ale. This ended up being a fairly reasonable little sale. This was a cool set of books I picked up at an estate sale. I did a bulk buy, and I own these for probably 75 cents a piece. So maybe $2.25 in this trilogy of books. Kristen Labrenstatter trilogy by Sigrid Undstedt from 1946. These were cloth-bound hardcovers from Knopf Publishing. Not a huge sale, $24 free shipping. And again, over on Mercari, like I said, big couple of days here on Mercari. Really interesting set. These were in, I believe, German, so not even English language books. So $2.20 odd cents into $24 free shipping. This was part of the free haul. So again, cost of goods sold $0. The Paul Simon Complete Volumes 1 and 2 Piano, Vocal, and Guitar Songbook Box Set. That's a mouthful. This is from 1990. These were kind of trade paperbacks in a slipcase, so kind of a box that would hold them. There were lots of these out, Volume 1 or Volume 2 individually. There were very, very few sets that included both of these, and this was the only one at the time I listed it that had both books and the slipcase. So I had this listed at $29.99 or best offer plus shipping. Over on eBay, I received, actually I sent out an offer for 15% off on this. Sold it for $25.49 plus shipping on a cost of goods sold of $0. Hey, what do you know? Another religious book. From 1957, The Daily Missal of the Mystical Body from the Mary Knoll Fathers. If you find any of these daily missals, they're definitely worth looking up. They generally can bring pretty decent money, particularly the older ones, the mid-60s and older. This one from 1957 also sold on a best offer that I sent out. I had it listed, I think, for $34.99 plus shipping and sold for $29.74 plus shipping. This was part, again, of the free haul from a couple of weeks ago, so cost of goods sold, nothing. This was a very interesting book. I bought this at an estate sale. I think I paid about $2 for this one from 1947. The essays of Michel Dimontain. These essays were hand-selected by the artist Salvador Dali, who then illustrated this particular volume. So really interesting book. I don't know who the author is, but obviously everybody knows who Salvador Dali is, and pretty much anything that he had anything to do with can be a good seller. This sold on a best offer. Again, I own it for a couple of bucks. I had it listed for $39.99 or best offer plus shipping, and it sold for $35 plus shipping. It's not a week of really huge sales, a lot of sub $50 stuff, but when your cost of goods sold is nothing, that profit tends to add up pretty quickly. Here's another one I bought at a big lot some time back. I had talked about some of these previously. I purchased a big lot of kind of young adult mysteries from the 1950s and 60s. This was part of the Ken Holt Mystery Stories series. This was number 15, The Mystery of Gallows Cliff by Bruce Campbell. This is a Grosset and Dunlap, a publisher that I talk about pretty much every week here. Again, I owned it for 75 cents. This sold on a best offer. It was listed for $39.99. Somebody made me an offer of $35 with free shipping, and I was all about that. This was another cool book. This was also part of the free lot from a couple of weekends ago. Famous New Orleans Drinks and How to Mix Them from 1960. This was the 13th printing of this book. The original was from the 1930s sometime. There was only one other one that was from this same kind of era with this cover. This book is still in publication. There were about a dozen of the current ones listed, going up to about $20. But for the older version of this, there was only one other one listed, and I think the guy was asking like $300 or $400, just an outrageous price. I looked up on Terapeak. The only one that had sold recently went for $30 plus shipping. So I listed mine at, I think, $44.99 plus shipping or best offer. And I got an offer for $38.24. I think it was 15% off plus the shipping. And I sent this thing out. So again, a fairly nice sale, $41 and some change gross on a cost of goods sold of nothing. Real interesting book. Again, it's one of those I don't know how likely you are to stumble on. But if you find one of the older ones, regardless of whether it's a first printing or, like the case of this one, a 13th printing, it had some pretty good value. This, I believe, is your flip of the week. Let's throw that graphic up there if you're watching on YouTube. The Ingenious Mechanisms for Designers and Inventors, volumes 1 through 3 from the Industrial Press. This was a hardcover set of books. 2 of them were from the same year and publication run. The other one was a later printing. So I think they were, one of them or 2 were from 1952. The other was from 1954. But essentially it was a complete set. They all had the same cover on them. So I was able to lot them together. These are another set of books that I picked up at an estate sale that I paid about $1 a piece for. So I have $3 in this set of books from the 1950s, and they sold again on Mercari for $50 with free shipping. These were pretty stout books. This one cost, I think, $8 to ship, even media mail. So it still ended up being a $34, $35 profit when all was said and done. $50 free shipping for a set of books, The Ingenious Mechanisms for Designers and Inventors. Old textbooks and engineering books tend to do pretty well. There are engineers and collectors who like that sort of stuff, so don't hesitate to grab those if you find them, if you're out at the various sales. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. I appreciate it. If you want to catch the full Reselling News podcast, click the video in the upper right-hand corner. To never miss a show, you can subscribe down below.